Hello YouTube, I Fix It All here, Team I Fix It All. Working on a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe a strange project here. It's kind of fun. I've got a flag in the ground right there. Flag in the ground there. Flag in the ground there. Flag in the ground there. And flag there, right smack dab in the middle of the driveway. Then a flag there. And what we've got is, if you'll notice, it's a curve of flags. End of the year 2022, we're popping into January. What I've done is I've made myself a thing here. It's just a goofy looking, from scrap materials, I've made a thing here. It's off of a vacuum cleaner. It's got this cool face on the front of it. Not much sunshine, not much light. The top of that thing right there has the letter N on it to represent north, which is behind me, and south directly that way. That's my flaming Wilson. Some of you may not know what Wilson is. It's the soccer ball that was soccer ball or volleyball from that one guy on that movie that was stranded on an island. And that literal cutout was on the vacuum cleaner handle, and there was a couple of holes there, and I took a couple of red marbles and put them in the holes. What we got going on here is my sun comes up over there, and it creates a shadow on the ground behind me, and I have plotted the hours of the day. So it's kind of just yard art, but what's happening here, it's kind of fun. You have the sun casting a shadow down on the ground, and that is 10 o'clock. That's 11. That's 12. 1. I can hardly see these stupid flags in the camera. That's 2. And that's 3. And then I lose it. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, in the ground, since it's basically January 1st, not quite yet, but for the shadow stick purposes, I'm going to put a stone in the ground right here at this flag, right at the base of this one. That orange color is much brighter in reality. Why is it so dingy on the camera? Put a stone in the ground right there at the base of that flag. It'll be engraved with a 10. The next one will have a stone flush with the ground. 11. And this will be the special one. I may put a glass insulator, meaning high noon. Show you what I mean by glass insulator. Yeah, one of these glass insulators here. I've got these set up to light up when it gets nighttime out. I just cover that up, see? Makes nice accent lighting for the porch. At the 12 o'clock position, I'll bury and recess a glass insulator that's just poking up a little bit. That will represent 12 o'clock. Then I'll put a stone flush with the ground and put 1 and 2, and another stone would be 3. This will be my yard clock for probably the first quarter of the year. Every single month, though, I'm focused on putting a glass insulator in the ground at high noon for every month. That represents January. I speculate that as the sun, got hoodlums in the woods, but they're having a good time. So if that's my noontime distance to my shadow stick, my flaming Wilson, that's the nickname the wife gave him. It was supposed to be a flaming sun, but if that's where that belongs, because that was the end of the shadow and I marked it, that'll be a glass insulator. At early February, I'm speculating that there's going to be a glass insulator there. Then March, April, May, June, and then I'm going to see how this curve occurs headed into the fall. I want to see if it's an identical track. I'm sure I'm only relearning what the Mayans mastered, but these are going to be permanent fixtures in the yard, which are conversation pieces. Okay, so I've got my arched clock right here. And then what I'll do is I won't do another clock until probably April. So in April, I'm probably, let me get turned around here. In April, I'm suspecting that I will, let me track my flags here. There's my flags now, right there. In April, I'll probably be right out in here more, and I'll be able to capture more than just 3 o'clock. I'll probably be able to get 5 o'clock or something longer. As the sun is at its highest point at high noon, and just so you know that around noon, the sun is directly in the south, so that means your back, if you're facing the sun, your back is to north, and then you could find west and east just fine at high noon. What I'm going to be doing is plotting every month, every single month, the high noon portions, because I'm thinking it's going to curve like this, come out and head over toward the pole where Flaming Wilson is. Every single month I'll plot noon, but every third or fourth month, I'll plot noon and all the hours I can capture, and put a stone in the ground and engrave the top of this stone with that hour that it represents. So I got a little bit of work to do. So right there is 12 o'clock noon. Right there, 12. I'll use a glass insulator for all of my high noon marks, because again, I think it's going to arch like this for high noon. And the stone I'm going to use is going to be probably that stuff right there, the big square blocks. I'll just cut them, engrave the number, then recess. That way it's not going to be hit by the lawnmower or whatever. I think it's interesting to build something in your yard that does a job for you, even if it's just a basic job. The whole idea of a full-size yard clock where you got your individual stones in the ground where you can see the time of day. Plus, for youngins, it's a teaching moment. Helps, and those who are directionally challenged. And it's just fascinating stuff. I like how I'm seeing this whole flag system here arch and lengthen proportional to all of the theories in my mind that I think happens. But as you look at all the flags and they arch, starting here, and things arch and the shadows get longer and longer as the day gets toward close of business. The sun is hidden behind clouds right now, but I can't capture another hour. 3 o'clock was the last one I could capture, because my roof line right up here blocks off any sunlight to the tip of Flaming Wilson. I know it looks like a ridiculous little thing. I don't know if I like it or not, but it just, I don't know. I think I'll keep it. All right, guys, you have a good day. We'll see you.